What would you do if a heartfelt, handmade gift was met with ungrateful criticism? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. I had been working on a special project for my sister-in-law, Clara, for a while. She had asked for a crocheted blanket in specific colors, and since my to-do list was clear, I was more than happy to dedicate my time to it. Thankfully, I already had most of the yarn colors she requested, which made the process even smoother. The day I finally presented the blanket to Clara was last weekend. Her eyes lit up with excitement as she took it, immediately unfolding it and beginning to examine it closely. I assumed she was just admiring the intricate stitches and how it was put together, especially since she doesn't crochet herself. However, a moment later, her expression shifted. I absolutely love it, Elara, she began, her voice a little too carefully modulated, but I couldn't help but notice some of the little mistakes you made along the way. My brows furrowed in confusion. Mistakes? What do you mean? I asked. She then proceeded to point out several things, a section where I'd accidentally done one row of striping instead of 3, a spot where I'd switched to the wrong color, throwing off a pattern. As she highlighted each perceived flaw, my surprise grew into a slow burn of disbelief. Then, she handed the blanket back to me. I love your progress with it, she said, a polite but firm tone in her voice, and I can't wait to see the finished project. It is finished, I stated, my voice flat. Clara looked down at the blanket, then back at me, a hint of impatience in her eyes. It's not done until it's perfect, she insisted, and you've made several mistakes that you could easily go back and correct. I was honestly dumbfounded. The sheer audacity of her statement left me speechless for a moment. It's infuriating when perfectionists try to impose their rigid standards on others, especially on something given out of love. I made this blanket for her, for free, pouring my own free time and effort into it, simply because I love her. I made this for you for free, out of my own time, because I love you, I finally managed to say, the words feeling heavy on my tongue. She nodded. I know, and I love you for it, but I just wouldn't be able to use it. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything but the mistakes. My patience, already thin, snapped. Whatever, I said, snatching the blanket back. If you don't want it, I'll keep it. Clara's eyes widened in surprise. I do want it, she exclaimed. I just want your best work, not something half-assed. This reveals Clara's greatest fatal flaw, her profound lack of appreciation for the effort and love behind a handmade gift, reducing it to a mere transaction of perfection. If you think me crocheting an entire blanket and making what I consider minimal errors is half-assing it, I retorted, my voice rising with each word, then I'd rather just keep the blanket. She was genuinely upset now, accusing me of being ridiculous and insisting it wouldn't take long to fix. What she clearly didn't understand, and what many non-crocheters miss, is that if you make an error on, say, row 36 of an 1115 row blanket, fixing it essentially means starting over again. As one commenter astutely put it, there is no fixing an error like you described in crochet. You either start over or pull out the stitches back to the point of error to resume from there. As another crocheter wisely noted, the beauty of something homemade is that it is one of a kind, not made by a machine, so what she sees as mistakes to me make it unique and wonderful. Clara couldn't be a gracious recipient of a heartfelt, thoughtful, homemade gift, and that truly shows something about her. Her expectation of perfection is deeply incompatible with the very nature of a handmade item. I ultimately made Clara pay a stunning price for her ungratefulness, and it all started with her seemingly insignificant critiques. The blanket, a labor of love, now rests with someone who truly appreciates its unique charm. This experience taught me that true value isn't always found in perfection, but in the heart behind the creation. What would you do if someone dismissed your hard work because it wasn't perfect?